Our final story is from Nigeria, where armed conflict and climate change are fueling alarming rates of malnutrition among children. The unfolding humanitarian crisis is worse for the ones most affected by floods in the Mubi region in recent months. New mothers are struggling as food shortages impact breastfeeding, and many children are staring at hunger and malnourishment. Our next story gets you all the details.
Inside the Mubi General Hospital, the scene is heartbreaking. Many mothers bring their malnourished children in search of critical care. The stabilization center is overwhelmed as more families arrive daily. Rabiatu Jibrila is one such mother in distress. She says her son was healthy at birth, but in the recent months, he began to lose weight. Now, he's battling for survival. Jibrila's son is not the only one. She says many children in her neighborhood are suffering a similar fate.
My son was healthy when I delivered him, but at 1 year 9 months old, I stopped breastfeeding him. He began to lose weight. We thought it was linked to him not being able to get breast milk. The doctor said he was malnourished and was giving injections and drugs. When I brought him, he couldn't even sit on his own. His stomach was flat. You would think he has no intestine inside his belly. We have other children at home. He is the only malnourished one amongst them, but I have seen other malnourished children in my neighborhood.
International non-profits note a troubling increase in malnutrition cases in Nigeria.
We are at the stabilization center in Mubi, and I can already tell you that since the last time I was here, the number of patients has increased drastically. If you compare June, July, August, and even September of 2023 to the same months of 2024, you will see that there are about 2 or 3 times the number of children admitted in the stabilization center.
Nigeria's crisis of food is linked to 2 factors. One is the armed conflict that has plagued the country's northeast. The second is the cycle of droughts and floods linked to climate change. Nigeria's northeast has seen some of its worst flooding in recent years. This, along with cycles of drought in other parts of the country, has aggravated the hunger crisis.
When we're looking at the numbers, the drastically increased numbers that we see in the stabilization center, OTP, and everywhere in the country, it's not only linked to the conflict that has plagued Nigeria for the last few years, but it's also linked to climate change. It's linked to the flooding that we've seen in the last few months, some of the worst flooding that Nigeria has experienced in the last few years.
In recent years, Nigerian farmers have lost vast areas of farmland either to floods or to the armed fighters. For the people living in areas like Mubi, Shua and Madagali, the impact has been even more severe. A 15-year insurgency by Boko Haram has killed over 40,000 people. Around 2 million people are left displaced due to conflict. Hit by this double whammy of armed conflict and natural disasters, the communities here are now struggling for food.
Surely, the effects of this will not be felt now, until next year. There will be food shortages and hunger in the coming months. We have people who fainted and are in hospital. Others are dead because there's no food to eat. Many people died because of this flood. They did not know what to do. They have lost hope.
We do not have enough farmlands because we used to go to the fields before the farm, but now the armed groups have taken over the bush. No one can go to the bush to farm anymore. We all scramble for the available farmlands around. The land is not sufficient for everyone. We just get small parcels just to ensure everyone has a portion to cultivate. We do not have big fields to cultivate.
Nigeria's crisis of food demands more attention from the world than it's currently getting. Let this be a reminder that zero hunger is still a top sustainable development goal. Communities in Nigeria's Mubi show that the world is still far from achieving this goal. The true scale of food crisis deep in the Nigerian hinterland is likely to be more severe. Tackling it all requires more resources and the people of Nigeria are looking at the world for the redressal of this severe hunger crisis.